There is a simple truth most people ignore. Nobody is coming to save you. Your life will only change the day you decide to put all your energy where it belongs. On you, every dream you have, every goal you want to reach, every future you want to live depends on one thing: how much you are willing to focus on yourself without distractions, without excuses, and without waiting for permission. You must build yourself so strong that no failure can break you and no rejection can stop you. The world rewards those who master themselves, not those who blame, not those who wait. The ones who win are the ones who focus relentlessly on their growth, their vision, their path. Focus on you until you win, because if you don't, nobody else will. Today could be the day you stop looking outside and start building the life you deserve from the inside out. Stay with me, because this might be the most important shift you ever make. This is not just about self-improvement. This is about survival. This is about taking back control of your destiny when the world tries to control it for you. This is about refusing to be a victim of circumstances and becoming the master of your fate. Every single day you have a choice. You can either invest in yourself or you can invest in distractions. You can either build your future or you can watch it slip away. The harsh reality is that most people will never achieve their dreams because they never commit to themselves fully. They give partial effort and expect total results. They work on themselves when it's convenient and wonder why nothing changes. They wait for motivation instead of building discipline. They seek validation instead of building confidence. They blame circumstances instead of taking responsibility. But you are different. You are reading this because something inside you knows you are meant for more. You are here because you are tired of living below your potential. You are here because you are ready to make the shift from ordinary to extraordinary. You are here because you understand that your life is your responsibility and nobody else's. The journey ahead will not be easy. It will challenge everything you thought you knew about yourself. It will push you to your limits and then demand you go further. It will require you to make sacrifices that others are not willing to make. It will ask you to stand alone when everyone else sits down. It will test your commitment, your courage, your character. But here is what nobody tells you. The struggle is where you find yourself. The pressure is where you discover your strength. The difficulty is where you forge your character. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. When you focus on yourself, truly focus, magic happens. Your confidence grows. Your skills sharpen. Your vision clarifies. Your energy multiplies. Your presence strengthens. Your impact expands. You become someone who doesn't need permission to pursue greatness. You become someone who doesn't need validation to know your worth. You become someone who doesn't need approval to follow your path. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens in the daily grind. It happens in the moments when nobody is watching. It happens in the choices you make when you're tired, discouraged, frustrated. It happens when you choose growth over comfort, progress over pleasure, discipline over desire. The world is filled with people who had potential but never developed it. People who had dreams but never pursued them. People who had opportunities but never seized them. Don't be one of them. Don't let your life be a collection of what-ifs and if-onlys. Don't let your potential die inside you because you were too afraid to fight for it. Your life is happening right now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect, right now. And the question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to continue making excuses, or are you going to start making progress? Are you going to keep waiting for the right moment, or are you going to create it? Are you going to keep blaming others, or are you going to take responsibility? The choice is yours. It has always been yours. But you must understand that choosing to do nothing is still a choice. Choosing to wait is still a choice. Choosing to blame is still a choice. And every choice you make is either building the life you want or destroying it. This book is your wake-up call. This is your moment to decide who you want to be and what kind of life you want to live. This is your opportunity to stop being a passenger in your own life and become the driver. This is your chance to stop reacting to life and start creating it. Everything you need is already inside you. The strength is there. The courage is there. The intelligence is there. The creativity is there. The determination is there. It's all there, waiting for you to claim it, waiting for you to unleash it, waiting for you to trust it. But you must make the commitment. You must decide that from this moment forward you are going to focus on you until you win, not until you get tired, not until it gets hard, not until you feel discouraged. Until you win, until you are standing in the life you dreamed about, until you become the person you were meant to be. This journey will require you to become selfish in the best way possible. Not selfish in the sense of hurting others, but selfish in the sense of protecting your energy, your time, your focus, your peace. You must become selfish about your growth, selfish about your goals, selfish about your future. Because if you don't prioritize yourself, nobody else will. Society will tell you that putting yourself first is wrong, that it's arrogant, that it's self-centered. But society is filled with people living lives they don't want, working jobs they hate, trapped in circumstances they accepted because they were too afraid to focus on themselves. Don't listen to them. Don't let their limitations become yours. The people who achieve extraordinary things are the ones who had the courage to be selfish with their time and energy. They said no to distractions. They said no to time wasters. They said no to energy vampires. They said no to anything that didn't serve their vision. And because they were willing to be ruthlessly focused on themselves, they were able to create value for millions of others. That's the paradox. When you focus on building yourself, you become more valuable to everyone around you. When you invest in your growth, you have more to give. When you strengthen yourself, you can help others become strong. But it all starts with you. It all starts with the decision to stop sacrificing your future for temporary comfort. Starting today, you must become your own priority. Your health must be a priority. Your mind must be a priority. Your skills must be a priority. Your dreams must be a priority. Your peace must be a priority. Everything else is secondary. Everything else can wait, but your growth cannot wait. Your development cannot wait. Your transformation cannot wait. The life you want is on the other side of the person you need to become. And becoming that person requires complete focus. It requires unwavering commitment. It requires relentless action. It requires you to show up every single day and do the work, even when you don't see immediate results. Especially when you don't see immediate results. This is your time. This is your moment. This is your opportunity to rewrite your story, to recreate your reality, to redesign your destiny. But you must act now. You must commit now. You must start now. The chapters ahead will give you the blueprint. They will show you exactly what you need to do to master yourself and create unstoppable success. But the blueprint is useless without execution. The knowledge is worthless without application. The information is meaningless without transformation. You must take what you learn and implement it immediately. You must take these principles and make them part of your daily life. You must take these truths and let them reshape your thinking, your habits, your actions, your results. Are you ready? Are you truly ready to focus on yourself until you win? Are you ready to do whatever it takes? Are you ready to sacrifice what you are for what you can become? Are you ready to let go of who you were so you can embrace who you're meant to be? If the answer is yes, then keep reading. Your transformation begins now, fully on building your strongest self every day. You cannot afford to take days off when it comes to building yourself. Life is not slowing down for anyone. Every day that you waste, every moment that you let slip away without working on yourself, it compounds against you. You either build the life you want or you drift further into the life you don't. Most people never win because they never stay focused on themselves long enough. They're too busy watching others, too busy comparing, too busy getting distracted. The greatest gift you can give yourself is daily commitment. Commitment to getting stronger, commitment to becoming wiser, commitment to becoming more disciplined. It is something you decide to do every single day, whether you feel like it or not. It all starts with a decision. You must decide that you're not going to let another day slip through your fingers. You must decide that you're going to work harder on yourself than you do on anything else. Your strongest self is not going to build itself. Your mind is not going to sharpen itself. Your discipline is not going to fall from the sky. You are responsible. You are the one who has to make it happen. And it starts small. It starts with 1 hour of reading instead of scrolling. It starts with one workout instead of making excuses. It starts with saying no to junk food and yes to something that fuels your body. It starts with sitting down in a quiet room and setting real goals for your life. The small decisions you make each day build your strongest self brick by brick. But you must stay with it. You cannot just work on yourself when life feels easy. You have to do it when it is hard, when you are tired, when you are discouraged, when no one claps for you, when the results are invisible. That is when the real work is happening. That is when you are laying down the foundation for a future that nobody can take away from you. Strength is built in the silence. Strength is built in the struggle. Strength is built when nobody is watching. Your strongest self is not built on good intentions. It is built on action. You have to be the one who shows up for yourself every day. No excuses, no blaming, no waiting for motivation. Motivation is not coming to save you. You have to save yourself through consistency. Consistency is the real secret. It is not fancy. It is not exciting every day, but it is powerful and it works. Every day that you choose yourself, you get one step closer to your dreams. Every day that you focus on your growth, your power grows with it. The results may not come overnight, but they will come. The world rewards the people who stay focused when everyone else gives up. The world rewards the people who bet on themselves even when the odds look impossible. You have to get honest with yourself. Are you building yourself or are you distracting yourself? Are you pushing yourself forward or are you letting life push you around? If you are not getting stronger, you are getting weaker. If you are not moving forward, you are falling behind. There is no standing still in this life. Growth is not a choice. It is a requirement. You have to protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Focus is your superpower in a world that is built to distract you. Every notification, every meaningless piece of news, every negative voice is trying to steal your future from you. You have to stand guard at the door of your mind and decide what gets your attention. Your attention is sacred. Your attention builds your life. When you focus fully on building your strongest self every day, you start to see the world differently. You stop chasing approval. You stop needing permission. You stop wasting time explaining yourself to people who will never understand your dreams. You stop feeling guilty for wanting more out of life. You stand firm in who you are and who you are becoming. You must understand that nobody is coming to build you up. Nobody is responsible for making you strong. That is your job, and it is the most important job you will ever have. You have to respect yourself enough to put in the work, to sacrifice temporary comfort for lasting power, to choose growth over fitting in. Every morning you wake up as another opportunity to build yourself, another opportunity to make yourself strong, another opportunity to prove to yourself that you are serious about your future. You cannot waste these days. You cannot treat them like they are endless. They are not. Every day is a building block. Every day is a piece of the foundation. When you get stronger, everything gets better. Your relationships get better, your health gets better, your finances get better, your confidence gets better. But it starts with you. It always starts with you. If you focus on you until you win, you will look back one day and realize that winning was not even the real prize. The real prize was who you became in the process. Your strongest self is waiting on the other side of discipline, on the other side of sacrifice, on the other side of consistency, and you have what it takes. You have everything you need already inside you. You do not need to be more talented. You do not need someone to rescue you. You need to commit to yourself at a level that you never have before. Start today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Focus fully on building your strongest self today. And then wake up tomorrow and do it again. Stack those days together, stack those wins together, and watch how your life transforms. Watch how your confidence grows. Watch how your strength becomes unbreakable. This is how you win. You do not win by hoping. You do not win by luck. You win by focusing fully on you every single day. You win by showing up for yourself no matter what. You win by refusing to quit when it gets hard. You win by doing the work that most people are too lazy to do. Building your strongest self is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong commitment. It's a daily practice that requires your full attention and dedication. You cannot build a masterpiece while giving half-hearted effort. You cannot create an extraordinary life with ordinary commitment. You must be all in every single day. Think about the strongest version of yourself. What does that person look like? How do they think? How do they act? What habits do they have? What standards do they uphold? What values do they live by? You must become intimately familiar with this vision because it's your North Star. It's the target you're aiming for every single day. Your strongest self is physically strong. This person takes care of their body because they understand that the body is the vehicle through which they experience life. They exercise regularly, not because they have to, but because they want to. They fuel their body with nutritious food because they respect it. They get adequate rest because they understand that recovery is part of growth. Your strongest self is mentally strong. This person has mastered their mind. They don't allow negative thoughts to spiral out of control. They challenge limiting beliefs. They feed their mind with knowledge and wisdom. They read books, listen to podcasts, engage in meaningful conversations that expand their thinking. Your strongest self is emotionally strong. This person doesn't allow their emotions to control their actions. They feel deeply but act wisely. They process their emotions in healthy ways. They don't suppress feelings, but they don't let feelings dictate their decisions either. They have developed emotional intelligence and use it to navigate relationships and challenges effectively. Your strongest self is spiritually strong. This person is connected to something greater than themselves. Whether it's through religion, nature, purpose, or philosophy, they have found meaning beyond the material world. They have values that guide their decisions. They have principles they stand by, even when it's inconvenient. Your strongest self is financially strong. This person understands money and how to manage it. They save, invest, and spend wisely. They create multiple income streams. They build assets instead of accumulating liabilities. They understand that financial strength provides options and freedom. Your strongest self is socially strong. This person has built quality relationships based on mutual respect, trust, and value. They have eliminated toxic relationships and cultivated empowering ones. They surround themselves with people who challenge them to grow. They are someone others can depend on. Your strongest self is professionally strong. This person has developed valuable skills that the marketplace rewards. They are excellent at what they do. They continuously improve their craft. They are reliable, professional, and results-oriented. They don't just work for a paycheck. They work to create value and make an impact. Building all these aspects of strength simultaneously might seem overwhelming, but you don't have to master everything at once. You start where you are. You pick one area to focus on and you begin. Maybe you start with your physical health. You commit to working out 5 days a week. You clean up your diet. You establish a sleep routine. The key is consistency and integration. Each area of strength supports the others. When you're physically strong, you have more energy to be mentally sharp. When you're mentally strong, you make better emotional decisions. When you're emotionally strong, your relationships improve. Everything is connected. But let's be clear about something crucial. Building your strongest self is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's not about being flawless. It's about being committed. You will have days when you fall short. Days when you skip the workout, eat the junk food, waste time on social media, lose your temper, make a poor financial decision. These moments don't define you. What defines you is whether you get back on track the next day. Your strongest self is resilient. They don't quit when things get hard. They don't abandon ship at the first sign of struggle. They understand that setbacks are part of the process. They learn from mistakes instead of being destroyed by them. Building your strongest self also means being brutally honest with yourself. You must face your weaknesses without shame. You must acknowledge your bad habits without justification. You must recognize your limiting beliefs without defense. This honest self-assessment is not about beating yourself up. It's about seeing clearly so you can act effectively. You cannot fix what you won't face. You cannot overcome what you won't acknowledge. You cannot transform what you won't admit needs changing. Strength begins with truth. And the truth is, you have areas of weakness. You have habits that are holding you back. You have beliefs that are limiting you. You have fears that are controlling you. Once you've identified your weak areas, you must develop a plan to strengthen them. If you're physically weak, you need a fitness plan. If you're mentally weak, you need a learning plan. If you're emotionally weak, you need a healing plan. If you're financially weak, you need a wealth-building plan. And then you must execute the plan daily. Not when you feel like it. Not when it's convenient. Not when conditions are perfect. Daily. Every single day. Because that's how strength is built. Through consistent, deliberate action over time. Your strongest self doesn't emerge from a moment of inspiration. It emerges from months and years of perspiration. It emerges from doing the hard work when nobody's watching. It emerges from making the right choices when the wrong choices are easier. It emerges from staying the course when everyone else is quitting. The journey to your strongest self is not linear. You will have ups and downs. You will have breakthroughs and breakdowns. You will have victories and defeats. But if you stay committed, if you keep focusing on building yourself every day, you will look back and you won't recognize the person you used to be. You will be stronger in every sense of the word. You will be more capable, more confident, more resilient, more powerful. You will be living a life that reflects the effort you put in. You will be the person you always knew you could be. But it requires starting now. It requires committing fully. It requires showing up daily. Your strongest self is not a distant dream. It's a daily decision. Every choice you make is either building that person or preventing them from emerging. Every action you take is either strengthening you or weakening you. Every habit you practice is either serving your future or sabotaging it. Focus fully on building your strongest self every day. Make it your mission. Make it your obsession. Make it your non-negotiable. Because when you become your strongest self, everything else in life gets easier. Problems become smaller. Challenges become opportunities. Obstacles become stepping stones. You become unstoppable. This is not about becoming someone you're not. This is about becoming everything you already are. You have greatness inside you. You have strength you haven't tapped into. You have potential you haven't unleashed. But it will stay dormant until you make the conscious decision to develop it. Today is that day. Today is the day you stop settling. Today is the day you stop accepting mediocrity. Today is the day you commit to building your strongest self, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, no matter who supports you or who doesn't. Focus on you. Build yourself. Strengthen yourself. Every single day until you win. Is noise. There are opinions flying around. There are distractions that want your energy. There are voices telling you what you should do and who you should be. If you are not careful, you can spend your whole life living for other people's expectations. You can lose yourself trying to keep up with a world that does not even know who you are. That is why training your mind to ignore the noise is not just important, it is necessary. You have a limited amount of attention. You cannot give it to everything and everyone. If you do, you will have nothing left for yourself. Your dreams will dry up, your energy will fade, your confidence will crumble. You cannot build a strong mind if you are constantly allowing noise to get inside it. You have to protect your mind like you protect your most valuable possession, because that is exactly what it is. The world will always have something to say. People will always have opinions. But opinions do not build your life. Opinions do not pay your bills. Opinions do not create your future. Your actions do. Your choices do. Your daily focus does. The minute you start listening to every opinion, you lose your power. You start questioning yourself. You start doubting your path. You start moving slower. You start shrinking your vision just to fit into someone else's small thinking. Training your mind to ignore the noise is about building inner strength. It is about becoming so rooted in your own vision that the outside world cannot shake you. It is about knowing who you are so clearly that nothing anyone says can pull you off your path. It is not about arrogance. It is about clarity. It is about understanding that your life is too important to be hijacked by other people's doubts or fears. The first step is to get clear on what matters. When you know what you are working toward, it gets easier to spot the noise. Not every comment needs your attention. Not every distraction deserves your energy. You have to decide what is worth your time and what is not. If it does not push you closer to your vision, it is noise. If it does not help you grow stronger, it is noise. If it drains your energy instead of building it, it is noise. You must become ruthless about your focus. You must protect your mind from negativity, from gossip, from jealousy, from comparison, from fear. You cannot allow yourself to get dragged into meaningless battles. You cannot waste your time explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You cannot live your life trying to meet standards that are not even your own. Train your mind to be quiet when the world gets loud. Learn to hear your own voice above the noise. Learn to trust your own instincts even when nobody else understands. Strength comes from knowing that you do not need validation to move forward. You do not need permission to follow your path. You do not need approval to chase your dreams. The only voice you need to answer to is the one inside you that knows you were made for more. There will always be critics. There will always be doubters. There will always be people who think you are foolish for believing in something bigger. That is not your problem. Their noise is their problem. Your problem is whether you allow it into your mind. Your responsibility is to keep your mind clean. Keep it strong, keep it focused. That is your job. That is how you protect your future. When you train your mind to ignore the outside noise, you move faster. You think clearer. You feel lighter. You stop carrying the weight of other people's opinions. You stop apologizing for wanting more out of life. You stop shrinking yourself to make others comfortable. You start living with a power that does not fade just because someone else is uncomfortable with it. Training your mind is not about pretending that the noise is not there. It is about seeing it for what it is and choosing not to give it your energy. It is about saying, I hear it, but it is not for me. It is about staying locked in on your goals no matter what the outside world throws at you. It is about building a mind so strong that it can handle rejection, criticism, failure, setbacks, and still keep moving forward without losing belief. Every day is a new test. Every day you will be tempted to react, to defend yourself, to explain yourself, to seek approval. But every time you rise above that temptation, you get stronger. Every time you ignore the meaningless noise and choose focus instead, you sharpen your mind. You build a mindset that is not easily shaken. You build a mind that can stand in the middle of chaos and still see clearly where it is going. There is great freedom in this. When you no longer need the world to understand you, you are free. When you no longer need constant validation, you are free. When you no longer let criticism define you, you are free. That freedom gives you the ability to chase your highest potential without being slowed down by doubts that do not belong to you. You must make a decision today. Decide that your dreams are too important to be sacrificed for noise. Decide that your peace is more valuable than winning arguments. Decide that your energy is too sacred to be spent on things that do not build you. Every day you practice this, you get closer to mastery. Every day you guard your mind, you move closer to a life you can be proud of. Focus is a daily choice. Strength is a daily choice. Peace is a daily choice. You have the power to make that choice. You have the power to say no to the noise. You have the power to say yes to your future. It will not always be easy. Some days the noise will feel louder. Some days the distractions will seem endless. Some days the pressure to listen to the crowd will be strong. But you must be stronger. You must remind yourself why you started. You must remind yourself what is at stake. You must remind yourself that greatness is never built by following the crowd. Greatness is built by those who have the courage to walk alone if they have to. Greatness is built by those who know that silence is sometimes louder than words. You are responsible for the life you build. You are responsible for the energy you allow around you. You are responsible for the mindset you carry into every day. And the stronger your mind becomes, the clearer your path becomes. The clearer your path becomes, the faster you move. The outside noise will not go away. It will always be there. But you will be different. You will be stronger. You will be wiser. You will be focused. You will not bend every time the wind blows. You will not fall apart every time someone criticizes you. You will not lose yourself chasing approval that does not even matter in the end. Train your mind until you can hear the noise and keep walking anyway. Train your mind until you can stand tall in your own truth. Train your mind until you no longer need anyone else to tell you that you are on the right path, because you will know it. Deep down, you will know it. This is your time. This is your life. Do not waste it listening to the noise. Focus on building the future you deserve. Focus on becoming the person you were meant to be. Focus on staying true to yourself, no matter how loud the outside world gets. The noise comes in many forms. Sometimes it's the well-meaning advice from people who have never accomplished what you're trying to accomplish. Sometimes it's the criticism from people who are threatened by your ambition. Sometimes it's the doubt from people who project their own limitations onto you. Sometimes the noise is more subtle. It's the social media posts that make you feel inadequate. It's the success stories that make you question your timeline. It's the highlight reels that make you forget everyone has struggles. It's the comparison trap that steals your joy and replaces it with envy. You must learn to identify all forms of noise and refuse to let them penetrate your mental fortress. Your mind is sacred ground. Not everyone deserves access to it. Not every opinion deserves consideration. Not every voice deserves to be heard. You must become the gatekeeper of your own thoughts. This doesn't mean you become closed-minded or refuse to accept constructive feedback. There's a difference between noise and wisdom. Wisdom comes from people who have walked the path you're trying to walk. Wisdom comes from mentors who have your best interests at heart. Wisdom comes from experiences that teach you valuable lessons. Noise, on the other hand, comes from people who have never done what you're trying to do. Noise comes from critics who sit on the sidelines and judge those in the arena. Noise comes from fear disguised as concern. Noise comes from jealousy disguised as advice. Learn to distinguish between the two. When someone offers you feedback, ask yourself, does this person have the results I want? Has this person walked the path I'm walking? Does this person truly want to see me succeed? If the answer is no, it's probably noise. Training your mind to ignore noise is also about managing your information intake. In today's world, we are bombarded with information from every direction. News, social media, advertisements, opinions, controversies, drama. Most of it is completely irrelevant to your goals and dreams. You must become intentional about what information you consume. What podcasts are you listening to? What books are you reading? What content are you watching? What conversations are you having? All of these inputs shape your thinking, which shapes your actions, which shapes your results. If you're consuming negative news all day, your mind will become negative. If you're scrolling through social media, comparing yourself to others, your confidence will erode. If you're surrounding yourself with complainers and excuse makers, you'll become one too. But if you're feeding your mind with knowledge, inspiration, and wisdom, you'll think bigger. If you're surrounding yourself with ambitious, positive people, you'll raise your standards. If you're consuming content that challenges and stretches you, you'll grow. Your mind is like a garden. Whatever you plant will grow. If you plant weeds of doubt, criticism, and negativity, that's what will flourish. If you plant seeds of possibility, belief, and determination, that's what will bloom. You are the gardener. You decide what gets planted. Another crucial aspect of ignoring outside noise is learning to trust yourself. So many people seek external validation because they don't trust their own judgment. They need someone else to tell them they're on the right track. They need constant reassurance that they're making the right decisions. But when you train your mind properly, you develop an inner knowing. You develop the ability to hear your own intuition clearly. You develop confidence in your own judgment. You don't need someone else to validate your path because you trust yourself completely. This trust is built through action. Every time you make a decision and follow through, you build trust with yourself. Every time you set a goal and achieve it, you prove to yourself that you're capable. Every time you face a challenge and overcome it, you strengthen your self-belief. The more you trust yourself, the less you need external validation. The less you need external validation, the quieter the outside noise becomes. The quieter the outside noise becomes, the more clearly you can hear your own voice guiding you forward. Training your mind to ignore outside noise is not a one-time event. It's a daily practice. Every day you will be tested. Every day something or someone will try to pull you off course. Every day you will have to make the conscious choice to stay focused on your path. Some days will be easier than others. Some days you'll feel strong and unmovable. Other days you'll feel vulnerable and question everything. That's normal. That's human. The key is not to let those moments of weakness become your new reality. When doubt creeps in, acknowledge it and move forward anyway. When criticism stings, feel it and keep working anyway. When comparison makes you feel behind, recognize it and stay in your own lane anyway. Your ability to keep moving despite the noise is what separates you from everyone else who quit. Remember, the noise gets loudest right before your breakthrough. When you're close to achieving something significant, the doubters get louder. The critics multiply. The obstacles seem bigger. This is not a sign to stop. This is a sign that you're close. This is confirmation that you're on the right path. Push through the noise. Stay focused on your vision. Trust your process. Believe in yourself. Keep your eyes on where you're going, not on who's watching or what they're saying. Your future self will thank you for having the strength to ignore the noise when it mattered most. Train your mind to be a fortress. Build mental walls that protect your dreams from the doubts of others. Create a mental filter that only allows helpful, constructive information through. Develop mental discipline that keeps you focused on what matters. And if you stay true, if you stay focused, you will win. Because the world cannot stop a mind that refuses to give up. The world cannot derail a person who refuses to be distracted. The world cannot defeat someone who has mastered the art of ignoring outside noise and listening to their inner wisdom. This is your superpower. This is your competitive advantage. While everyone else is being pulled in 1,000 different directions by outside noise, you remain steadfast. While everyone else is reacting to every opinion and criticism, you remain calm. While everyone else is losing focus, you remain locked in. That's how you win. That's how you build something extraordinary. That's how you become unstoppable. Train your mind to ignore all outside noise and watch how quickly your life transforms. People may care about you. They may love you, but they cannot see the fire inside you. They cannot understand the vision that only you were given. And when you chase something bigger than what is comfortable, there will always be those who doubt you. It is not their job to believe. It is yours. When nobody believes in you, you have a choice. You can shrink back and accept their limited expectations, or you can rise up and fight harder because you know that what you are building is bigger than what they can see. Many great lives were almost destroyed because someone close said you can't do it. You have to understand that belief is not a requirement for others. It is a responsibility for yourself. Fighting for your dreams is lonely work. You will sit in rooms by yourself wondering if you're crazy for wanting more. You will have mornings where you wake up with doubt pressing against your chest like a weight. You will have days where the results are invisible and all you have to hold on to is your own belief. But that is enough. That is the beginning of every great achievement. The ability to believe when there is no evidence yet. Most people are comfortable living inside small dreams because small dreams do not scare anyone. Small dreams do not threaten anyone. But when you decide to break the mold, when you decide to build something that is not ordinary, expect resistance. Expect the people closest to you to raise eyebrows. Expect them to question your judgment. It does not mean they hate you. It means they are limited by their own fears. You must fight through it. You must remind yourself daily that your dream was given to you for a reason. If they were supposed to understand it, they would have seen it too, but they did not. You did. It is yours. It is personal. It is sacred. And it is worth defending with everything you have. The fight for your dreams is not just an outer battle. It is an inner battle. The voices outside are loud, but the voice inside can be even louder. Doubt will whisper that maybe they are right. Fear will tell you to settle for what is easy. Comfort will beg you to come back to the familiar. But you must push forward. You must be stronger than your emotions on the hard days. You must lead yourself when it feels like nobody else is even watching. Real fighters are not motivated by applause. They are motivated by purpose. They are not waiting for the crowd to cheer them on. They are too busy laying the bricks of their future, one hard day at a time. They are too focused on the vision to care about approval. They know that respect comes after results, not before. They are willing to walk alone today, to stand tall tomorrow. When you fight for your dreams, you develop a toughness that cannot be faked. You earn a resilience that you cannot buy. You build a soul that can handle pressure. Every rejection makes you sharper. Every no forces you to dig deeper. Every closed door teaches you to find another way. The fight builds character that success alone could never give you. You learn to trust yourself when nobody else does. You learn to stand firm when the world tries to shake you. You learn that your belief in yourself is the only vote that truly counts. Some people will tell you to be realistic. They will tell you to lower your expectations. They will warn you about disappointment. But what they are really saying is that they are afraid for you because they are afraid for themselves. They never had the courage to chase their own dreams, so they cannot imagine why you would risk chasing yours. Do not let their fear become your prison. Do not let their limitations become your boundaries. Your dreams were not given to you by accident. They were placed in your heart because you have what it takes to achieve them. You may not see the full path yet. You may not have all the resources. You may not have the support. But you have something far more powerful. You have the hunger. You have the vision. You have the willingness to fight. That is more than enough to start. That is more than most people ever have. When you fight for your dreams, you are not just building a future. You are building yourself. You are becoming the kind of person who does not quit when it gets hard. You are becoming the kind of person who does not need permission to pursue greatness. You are becoming the kind of person who inspires others just by refusing to give up. The world needs more people like that. The world needs more people who believe in something bigger than comfort. The world needs more people who are willing to risk failure for the chance to live fully. You can be one of those people. You already are if you are still reading this. You already are if you still have that burning desire inside you. Do not let anyone extinguish it. Do not let doubt talk you out of it. Do not let fear convince you to settle. Fight for your dreams like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. A life without dreams is a life without purpose. A life without purpose is a life without meaning, and you deserve more than that. You deserve to wake up every day knowing that you are working towards something that matters. The fight will not be easy. There will be days when you want to quit. There will be moments when you question everything. There will be setbacks that make you wonder if it is all worth it. But in those moments, remember why you started. Remember the vision that set your soul on fire. Remember the version of yourself that you are becoming. That version is worth fighting for. That future is worth protecting. That dream is worth every sacrifice. When you fight for your dreams, you give yourself permission to live at your highest potential. You give yourself permission to become extraordinary. You give yourself permission to break free from mediocrity and build something remarkable. And when you finally achieve what you set out to do, when you finally stand in the life you fought so hard to create, you will look back and realize that the fight was the best part. The struggle shaped you. The resistance strengthened you. The doubt refined you. And every person who did not believe in you became fuel for your fire. Fight for your dreams. Fight when it is hard. Fight when you are tired. Fight when nobody understands. Fight when the odds are against you. Fight because your future self is depending on you. Fight because your purpose is calling you. Fight because you were made for more than ordinary. Keep fighting until you win. The truth about fighting for your dreams is that it requires sacrifices most people are not willing to make. It requires saying no to things that feel good in the moment for things that will feel amazing in the future. It requires delaying gratification. It requires discipline when everyone else is being casual. It requires focus when everyone else is being distracted. You might have to sacrifice social time while your friends are out partying because you need to work on your craft. You might have to sacrifice comfort while others are relaxing because you need to push yourself further. You might have to sacrifice approval while others are playing it safe because you need to take risks. These sacrifices are not fun. They don't feel rewarding in the moment, but they are necessary. They are the price you pay for a life that most people will never experience. They are the investment you make in a future that most people will only dream about. When no one believes in you, you must become your own biggest believer. You must become your own biggest cheerleader. You must become your own source of motivation and inspiration. You cannot wait for someone else to validate your dream. You cannot wait for permission to pursue what you know in your heart you must pursue. This means developing an unshakable belief in yourself. This means looking in the mirror every day and telling yourself, I am capable, I am worthy, I am enough. I will achieve what I set out to achieve, no matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it gets, no matter who doubts me. This level of self-belief is not arrogance. It's not ego. It's not delusion. It's faith. It's faith in the vision that was placed in your heart. It's faith in your ability to figure things out. It's faith in the process. It's faith that if you keep showing up and doing the work, eventually you will break through. Fighting for your dreams also means protecting your dream from dream killers. Dream killers are everywhere. They're the people who laugh at your ambitions. They're the people who tell you to be realistic. They're the people who remind you of every person who tried and failed. They're the people who list all the reasons why it won't work. You must create boundaries with these people. You don't have to cut them out of your life completely, but you must limit their access to your mental and emotional space. Don't share your dreams with people who don't have the capacity to support them. Don't seek advice from people who have never done what you're trying to do. Don't allow negative voices to rent space in your head. Instead, surround yourself with believers. Find people who are also fighting for their dreams. Connect with mentors who have already achieved what you're working toward. Consume content from people who inspire you and push you forward. Build a support system that fuels your fire instead of extinguishing it. But here's the hard truth. Even with the best support system, there will be times when you feel completely alone. There will be times when even your biggest supporters can't fully understand what you're going through. There will be times when the only person who truly believes is you, and that's okay. That's actually necessary, because the kind of belief that creates extraordinary results must come from within. It must be unshakable. It must be independent of external validation. It must be rooted so deeply in your soul that nothing can uproot it. This internal belief is forged through action. Every time you take action toward your dream, you strengthen your belief. Every time you overcome an obstacle, you prove to yourself that you can. Every time you achieve a small milestone, you build momentum and confidence. So even when no one believes, keep taking action. Keep moving forward. Keep doing the work, because your actions will eventually create results, and results will create believers. But you can't wait for believers to start taking action. You must take action first, and the believers will come later. Fighting for your dreams when no one believes also means learning to celebrate your own victories. Don't wait for others to recognize your progress. Don't wait for external validation to feel proud of yourself. Acknowledge your own growth. Celebrate your own wins. Be your own biggest fan. Did you wake up early and put in work while everyone else was sleeping? Celebrate that. Did you say no to a distraction so you could focus on your goals? Celebrate that. Did you push through when you wanted to quit? Celebrate that. These small victories matter. They are proof that you are fighting. They are evidence that you are committed. The fight for your dreams is also about developing mental toughness. It's about training your mind to handle rejection without being devastated. It's about learning to receive criticism without being destroyed. It's about building the capacity to keep going when everything in you wants to stop. Mental toughness is not about being hard or cold. It's about being resilient. It's about bouncing back quickly when life knocks you down. It's about maintaining your belief when circumstances tempt you to doubt. It's about staying committed to your vision when results are slow. This toughness is built one hard day at a time. It's built every time you choose to get back up after falling. It's built every time you face your fear and move forward anyway. It's built every time you endure discomfort in pursuit of your dream. And here's what fighting for your dreams when no one believes ultimately teaches you. You don't need anyone's belief but your own. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need anyone's approval. You need your own unwavering commitment. You need your own relentless action. You need your own unshakable faith. When you internalize this truth, you become unstoppable. Because now your progress is not dependent on what others think or say. It's dependent solely on what you do, and what you do is completely within your control. So fight. Fight with everything you have. Fight like your life depends on it, because your dream life does depend on it. Fight through the doubt. Fight through the fear. Fight through the rejection. Fight through the loneliness. Fight through the exhaustion. Fight through the setbacks. Fight through it all. Because one day, when you're standing in the life you fought so hard to create, you'll realize that every person who didn't believe, every obstacle you faced, every moment you wanted to quit but didn't, they were all necessary. They were all part of the process that transformed you from someone with a dream into someone living the dream. Keep fighting. Your dreams are worth it. You are worth it. And the world needs what you're building, even if they can't see it yet. Fight for your dreams when no one believes. That's where champions are made. The life you want is built in the daily decisions nobody sees. It is built in the mornings when you do not feel like getting out of bed, but you do it anyway. It is built in the evenings when you are exhausted, but you still put in the work. It is built in the quiet moments when you choose discipline over comfort, action over excuses, growth over stagnation. Showing up for yourself every single day is not glamorous. It is not exciting. It will not always feel rewarding in the moment. But it is the foundation of everything you want to build. You cannot create a powerful future with inconsistent effort. You cannot build a strong life with weak habits. You cannot achieve extraordinary results with ordinary commitment. The people who win are not the most talented. They are not the luckiest. They are simply the ones who refused to quit. They are the ones who showed up day after day, even when progress felt slow. They are the ones who understood that success is not built in moments of inspiration. It is built in moments of discipline. When you show up for yourself every day, you are making a promise to your future. You are saying, I believe in who I am becoming more than I believe in how I feel right now. You are choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term comfort. You are investing in a version of yourself that does not exist yet, but will exist because you refuse to abandon the process. Most people wait for motivation before they take action. They wait to feel ready. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait for conditions to be ideal. But the truth is, you will rarely feel ready. The conditions will rarely be perfect. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the weather. You cannot build a life on something so unstable. What you can build on is commitment. Commitment does not care about your feelings. Commitment does not wait for inspiration. Commitment shows up regardless. Commitment says, this is what I do. This is who I am. This is non-negotiable. When you operate from commitment instead of motivation, you become unstoppable. Think about the days you did not feel like working out, but you did it anyway. Think about the mornings you wanted to sleep in, but you got up and started your day with purpose. Think about the times you wanted to quit, but you pushed through. Those are the days that built you. Those are the moments that shaped your character. Those are the decisions that created momentum. Every time you show up when you do not feel like it, you are building discipline. Every time you choose the hard right over the easy wrong, you are building integrity. Every time you do what you said you would do, you are building trust with yourself. And that self-trust is the most valuable asset you will ever own. When you trust yourself, you stop second-guessing every decision. You stop looking for external validation. You stop doubting your ability to follow through. You know that if you commit to something, it will get done. That kind of confidence cannot be given to you. It must be earned. And you earn it by showing up for yourself, day after day, choice after choice, moment after moment. But showing up is not just about physical presence. It is about mental and emotional presence, too. It is about showing up fully, not halfway. It is about being all in, not 1 foot in and 1 foot out. It is about giving your best effort, not your leftover energy. Half-hearted effort produces half-hearted results. If you want extraordinary outcomes, you must show up with extraordinary energy. You must bring your full focus, your full commitment, your full belief. Anything less is a disservice to your potential. Anything less is settling for mediocrity. Anything less is cheating yourself out of the life you are capable of living. There will be days when showing up feels impossible. There will be days when life knocks you down. There will be days when you are overwhelmed, discouraged, exhausted. On those days, showing up might look different. It might mean doing less than you planned. It might mean moving slower than usual. It might mean simply refusing to quit. That is okay. Progress is not about perfection. Progress is about persistence. It is not about how much you do on your best days. It is about what you do on your worst days. It is about maintaining forward motion, even when the winds are against you. It is about refusing to let a bad day become a bad week become a bad month become a bad year. One of the most powerful realizations you can have is this: you do not have to feel strong to act strong. You do not have to feel confident to act confident. You do not have to feel motivated to take motivated action. You can feel afraid and still move forward. You can feel tired and still put in the work. You can feel uncertain and still make progress. Your feelings do not have to dictate your actions. In fact, the most important actions you will ever take are the ones you take despite how you feel. Those are the actions that define you. Those are the actions that separate the dreamers from the doers. Those are the actions that build the kind of character that cannot be broken. When you commit to showing up for yourself every day, you also commit to becoming someone new. You commit to growing beyond your current limitations. You commit to challenging your old patterns. You commit to stepping outside your comfort zone repeatedly until what once felt impossible becomes routine. This process will stretch you. It will challenge you. It will require you to let go of old versions of yourself that are no longer serving your future. It will require you to develop new habits, new mindsets, new standards. It will not always be comfortable, but comfort is not the goal. Growth is the goal. And growth only happens when you consistently show up outside your comfort zone. You must understand that the life you want is not going to fall into your lap. It is not going to be handed to you because you deserve it. It is not going to appear because you wished for it. The life you want must be built. It must be earned. It must be created through daily action, daily discipline, daily commitment. And the beautiful thing about this is that you already have everything you need to start. You do not need more resources. You do not need more talent. You do not need more luck. You need more consistency. You need to show up more often. You need to stay committed longer than you ever have before. What matters is that you keep showing up, that you keep placing one stone on top of the next, that you keep stacking the days together, because what you do daily is what builds your future. It is easy to show up when it is fun. It is easy to show up when you are seeing results. It is easy to show up when people are cheering for you, but real winners show up when nobody notices. Real winners show up when the results are invisible. Real winners show up when it feels like the world has forgotten about them. If you can master the art of showing up daily, you can build anything. You can transform your health. You can build wealth. You can create a life that you are proud to live. But it all begins and ends with whether or not you are willing to show up for yourself. Nobody else can do this part for you. Nobody else can clock the hours. Nobody else can endure the grind. It has to be you. You have to be willing to look in the mirror and say, I did not quit today. I did not let my feelings control me today. I chose my future over my comfort. There is no secret formula. There is no magic shortcut. There is only the day-to-day grind of doing what needs to be done, even when you would rather take the easy way out. And every time you do it, every time you show up anyway, you build a little more strength, a little more resilience, a little more belief. One day you will look around and realize that everything you dreamed of having is now your reality. And it will not be because you got lucky. It will not be because someone handed it to you. It will be because you showed up for yourself every single day when nobody else could see the vision but you. You are writing your future with every choice you make. Make it a masterpiece. Make it something you can be proud of. Make it a life that reflects the strength it took to keep showing up even when quitting would have been easier. Show up for yourself. Not once, not sometimes every day, because that is how legends are made. That is how dreams become reality. That is how ordinary people create extraordinary lives. Now it is time to make a decision. Will you continue living the same way, hoping things will change? Or will you take full responsibility for creating the life you were meant to live? The truth is, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you the life you dream about. Nobody is going to do the hard work for you. But that is not a curse. That is your freedom. That is your power. That is your opportunity to become the architect of your own destiny. Everything you need is already inside you. The strength, the courage, the resilience, the vision. It has always been there. It has been waiting for you to claim it. It has been waiting for you to stop making excuses and start making moves. It has been waiting for you to stop looking for permission and start taking action. Your life will change the moment you decide to focus on you until you win. Not tomorrow. Not when conditions are perfect. Not when you feel ready. Today. Right now. This moment. This is where your transformation begins. Everything you have learned in this book is useless if you do not apply it. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. Motivation without execution is just emotion. You have to take what you have learned and turn it into daily practice. You have to build yourself every day. You have to train your mind to ignore the noise. You have to fight for your dreams when nobody believes. You have to show up for yourself even when you do not feel like it. These are not suggestions. These are requirements for a powerful life. These are the non-negotiables for anyone who is serious about winning. You have everything you need to start. You do not need more time. You do not need more resources. You do not need more talent. You need more commitment. You need more discipline. You need more belief in yourself, and you need to start now. The world is waiting for you to step into your greatness. Your future self is waiting for you to make the right choices today. Your potential is waiting for you to stop hiding and start shining. Do not let another day go by where you settle for less than you are capable of. Try, start, move, act, build, grow, fight, rise, win. You are capable of so much more than you have been settling for. You are capable of building a life that fills you with pride. You are capable of becoming someone you deeply respect. You are capable of achieving dreams that once seemed impossible. But it all starts with you. It all starts with the decision to focus on you until you win. It all starts with the commitment to never give up on yourself. It all starts with the belief that you are worth the effort, the sacrifice, the struggle, because you are worth it. You are worth every ounce of effort you put into yourself. You are worth every moment of discipline. You are worth every sacrifice you make for your future. And one day, when you are standing in the life you built, when you are living the dream you once only imagined, you will look back and know that it was all worth it. Every hard day, every lonely night, every moment of doubt, every sacrifice, every setback, every tear. It was all worth it because it brought you here, to this moment, to this life, to this version of you that is unstoppable. So go. Build the life you deserve. Become the person you were meant to be. Focus on you until you win. Because if you don't, nobody else will. Your time is now. Your moment is here. Your future is waiting. Go claim it. Today is not short on opportunity. It is short on focus. It is easy to start something. It is harder to stay with it long enough to finish. Every day there are 100 things pulling at your mind, your time, your energy. If you do not get serious about eliminating distractions, they will slowly eat away your future. Focus is not something you find. Focus is something you build. You build it by protecting it. You build it by cutting out anything that weakens it. You have dreams to achieve. You have goals to reach. You have a life to build. You cannot afford to lose hours on things that do not matter. You cannot let your attention be stolen by every meaningless notification, every opinion that crosses your path, every temptation to escape into something easier than doing the real work. Every distraction comes with a cost, and that cost is your future. If you are not in control of your attention, someone else is. If you are not deciding where your energy goes, the world will decide for you. And the world does not care about your dreams. It does not care about your goals. It cares about taking your time and giving you nothing in return. You have to be smarter than that. You have to see distractions for what they are. Thieves. They steal your time, your energy, your focus, your future. Cutting out distractions is not just about being more productive. It is about being more alive. It is about taking back ownership of your life. It is about refusing to live as a slave to interruptions, to gossip, to mindless scrolling, to entertainment that adds nothing to your growth. It is about standing up and saying, "My life matters too much to be wasted." The first step to cutting out distractions is to be brutally honest with yourself. What is stealing your focus every day? Where are you losing hours without even realizing it? What habits are draining you without giving anything back? You cannot fix what you will not face. You have to confront the truth of how you are spending your time. The second step is to create an environment that supports your goals. Your environment should push you toward focus, not away from it. Clean up your space, remove the clutter, turn off the noise, block the temptations. Make it easier to do the right thing and harder to do the wrong thing. You cannot expect to stay focused in an environment built for distraction. You must also protect your mental space. Not every conversation deserves your time. Not every argument is worth engaging in. Not every negative opinion needs a response. You have to guard your peace like your future depends on it, because it does. Every time you get pulled into something that does not serve you, you are losing momentum. You are giving away pieces of yourself that should be reserved for your real mission. It is not enough to say you want to focus. You have to create a system that makes it possible. Set clear work times. Turn off notifications. Limit your exposure to things that pull your mind away from what matters. Make a real commitment to yourself. If you cannot do it all day, start with an hour. Start with one focused session a day and build from there. Momentum is built one decision at a time. Every distraction you remove is a gift to your future self. Every temptation you resist is an investment in your future strength. Every time you choose focus over ease, you are sharpening your mind, strengthening your discipline, and moving one step closer to the life you were born to live. It all matters. It all adds up. Distractions are not just outside of you. They are inside, too. Self-doubt is a distraction. Overthinking is a distraction. Worrying about what others think is a distraction. Fear of failure is a distraction. You must learn to quiet the inner noise just as much as the outer. You must learn to refocus your mind when it starts wandering toward fear and doubt. You must be able to say to yourself, "This is not helping me," and bring your focus back to your work. Building a life worth living requires more than talent. It requires endurance. It requires the ability to stay with a thing long after the excitement fades. It requires the ability to keep putting in the work when nobody is watching and no immediate rewards are coming. That kind of endurance can only exist if you are ruthless about eliminating distractions. You will have to make sacrifices. You will have to say no to things that others say yes to. You will have to miss out on some conversations, some parties, some trends. You will have to endure the feeling of missing out. But in the end, you will realize you did not miss anything important. You will realize that the only thing worth chasing was your own potential. The truth is the real battle is not out there. It is in here. It is inside your own mind. Can you keep your eyes on your vision when the world tries to pull you away? Can you stay true to your work when entertainment is one click away? Can you keep moving forward when distractions are disguised as opportunities? That is the test. That is what separates the ones who wish from the ones who achieve. Every time you choose focus, you are choosing your future over your feelings. Every time you say no to a distraction, you are saying yes to your dream. Every time you close a door to something meaningless, you open a door to something powerful. It is not about being perfect. It is about being intentional. It is about being clear on what you are building and fierce about protecting the path that gets you there. Nobody is coming to organize your time for you. Nobody is going to clear your schedule. Nobody is going to make you turn off the noise. That is your responsibility. That is your power. That is your opportunity to take control of your mind, to take control of your focus, to take control of your future. The day you decide to cut out every distraction that weakens your focus is the day everything starts to change. You start seeing progress faster. You start feeling more confident. You start waking up with more energy. You start living with more purpose because now you are not wasting your strength fighting battles that do not matter. There is no secret to high achievement. There is only clear focus applied daily. There is only consistent action fueled by disciplined energy. There is only the relentless removal of anything that tries to pull you off course. That is how dreams are built. That is how lives are transformed. You do not have to be smarter than everyone else. You do not have to be luckier. You do not have to be more talented, but you must be more focused. You must be more disciplined. You must be more determined to protect your time, your energy, your mind. This is your season to be sharper. This is your time to be stricter about what you allow into your life. This is your moment to decide that nothing and no one will pull you away from the future you are building. Cut it out. If it weakens your focus, cut it out. If it steals your time, cut it out. If it drains your energy, cut it out. If it dims your light, cut it out. Your dream deserves your full strength. Your future deserves your full attention. Stay locked in. Stay committed. Stay focused because the life you want is on the other side of the distractions you are willing to eliminate today. In the modern world, distraction is the default state. Your phone is designed to distract you. Social media is engineered to capture your attention. The news is crafted to keep you watching. Entertainment is endless and always available. You are living in an attention economy where your focus is the most valuable commodity. Companies spend billions of dollars trying to steal your attention because they know that whoever controls your attention controls your behavior, and whoever controls your behavior controls your choices. and whoever controls your choices controls your life. This is not conspiracy. This is business, and you must be aware of it if you want to protect yourself. Every time you pick up your phone to check a notification, you are being pulled away from your goals. Every time you mindlessly scroll through social media, you are investing time in someone else's dream instead of your own. Every time you binge watch a series when you should be working on your future, you are choosing temporary entertainment over permanent transformation. The brutal truth is that most people will never achieve their dreams because they cannot stay focused long enough. They start strong, they have good intentions, they set big goals, but then they get distracted. They get pulled into the noise. They get seduced by instant gratification. And slowly, day by day, their dreams fade away. Do not let this be you. Do not let distractions rob you of the life you are capable of living. You must become a master of your attention. You must develop the discipline to focus on what matters and ignore what does not. You must build the mental strength to resist temptation when it tries to pull you away from your path. One of the most powerful things you can do is conduct a distraction audit. For 1 week, track everything you do and how long you spend doing it. Be honest, be thorough. Write down every activity, no matter how small. At the end of the week, review your audit and ask yourself, how much time did I spend on activities that move me toward my goals? How much time did I waste on distractions? The answers will shock you. Most people discover they are wasting hours every single day on things that add no value to their lives. Hours on social media, hours watching TV, hours in meaningless conversations, hours on activities that feel productive but actually accomplish nothing. Those hours add up. Those hours are your life, and you cannot get them back. Once you have identified your biggest distractions, you must eliminate them ruthlessly. Delete the apps that waste your time. Unsubscribe from the channels that add no value. Remove yourself from the group chats that drain your energy. Block the websites that steal your focus. Create friction between you and your distractions. At the same time, create systems that support your focus. Use website blockers during work hours. Put your phone in another room when you need to concentrate. Schedule specific times for checking email and messages instead of being constantly available. Create a morning routine that sets you up for a focused day. Design your environment to make focus the path of least resistance. You must also learn to say no. No is a complete sentence. No is an act of self-respect. No is how you protect your time and energy for what truly matters. Most people say yes to everything and wonder why they never have time for their own priorities. They say yes to every request, every invitation, every opportunity. They are so afraid of missing out or disappointing others that they say yes even when it costs them their own dreams. But successful people understand that every yes to something unimportant is a no to something important. Every yes to a distraction is a no to your big goals. Every yes to someone else's priority is a no to your own. You must become comfortable with disappointing people who do not respect your focus. You must become okay with missing out on things that do not serve your vision. This does not make you selfish. This makes you focused. This makes you serious about your future. This makes you someone who values their time and uses it wisely. And the people who truly care about you will understand. The people who truly support you will respect your boundaries. The people who do not, they are distractions too. Another major source of distraction is multitasking. Society celebrates multitasking as a skill, but research shows it is actually killing your productivity and your focus. Your brain is not designed to focus on multiple complex tasks simultaneously. When you try to multitask, you're actually rapidly switching between tasks, and every switch costs you time and mental energy. Studies show that multitasking can reduce your productivity by up to 40%. It also increases stress, decreases the quality of your work, and impairs your memory. Yet people continue to multitask because it creates the illusion of productivity. It feels like you are getting more done, but you are actually getting less done at a lower quality. If you want to maximize your focus, you must embrace single tasking. Do one thing at a time. Give it your complete attention. Finish it before moving to the next thing. This is how you produce your best work. This is how you enter flow states where time disappears and productivity soars. This is how you build the reputation for excellence that sets you apart. Distractions also come in the form of toxic relationships. If you are surrounded by people who constantly complain, gossip, or criticize, they are draining your energy and pulling your focus away from your goals. If you are in relationships where you feel unsupported, unappreciated, or misunderstood, they are distractions from becoming your best self. You must evaluate your relationships honestly. Who in your life supports your growth? Who challenges you to be better? Who celebrates your wins and encourages you during your struggles? These people are assets. Invest in these relationships. Spend time with these people. Learn from them. Grow with them. Who in your life brings you down? Who constantly needs your energy but never gives anything back? Who discourages your dreams or mocks your ambitions? These people are liabilities. You must limit your exposure to them. Set boundaries. Spend less time with them. In some cases, you may need to remove them from your life entirely. This is not cruel. This is necessary. You become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. If those 5 people are focused, ambitious, and positive, you will become more focused, ambitious, and positive. If those 5 people are distracted, lazy, and negative, you will become more distracted, lazy, and negative. Choose wisely. One of the most insidious distractions is perfectionism. Perfectionism tricks you into thinking you are being careful and thorough, but really you are just procrastinating. You wait for the perfect moment to start. You revise and refine endlessly instead of shipping. You let fear of failure disguise itself as high standards. Perfectionism is a distraction from taking action. It keeps you stuck in preparation and prevents you from making progress. You must learn to embrace good enough and iterate as you go. Done is better than perfect. Action is better than intention. Progress is better than perfection. Another distraction that people rarely acknowledge is success itself. When you achieve a certain level of success, it is easy to become distracted by maintaining what you have built instead of continuing to grow. You get comfortable. You start protecting instead of pushing. You become more focused on not losing than on continuing to win. This is why many successful people plateau. They let their past success become a distraction from future growth. They rest on their laurels instead of reaching for more. If you want to keep growing, you must stay focused on the next level, not the last level. You must stay hungry even after you have eaten. You must keep pushing even after you have achieved what others only dream about. The bottom line is this: your focus determines your future. Where you place your attention is where your life will grow. If you focus on distractions, your life will be distracted and scattered. If you focus on your goals, your life will be purposeful and powerful. The choice is yours. The power is yours. The responsibility is yours. Cut out every distraction that weakens your focus. Protect your attention like your life depends on it, because it does. Your attention is your life. Guard it fiercely. Use it wisely. Direct it intentionally. And watch how your life transforms when you finally give your dreams the focused attention they deserve. Without blaming anyone for anything, there comes a moment when you have to make a serious decision about your life. You have to decide whether you are going to keep pointing the finger or whether you're going to take full responsibility for everything you want to change. Until you own your life without blaming anyone for anything, you stay stuck. You stay powerless. You stay behind. The day you own it all is the day you start taking real control over your future. Blame is easy. It feels good for a moment. It makes you believe that your failures are not your fault. It gives you an excuse to stay where you are. But the cost of blame is far too high. When you blame others, you hand them control over your life. When you point fingers, you give away your ability to fix it. As long as it is someone else's fault, you have no power to change it. Owning your life is about taking full responsibility for your decisions, your habits, your mindset, and your outcomes. It is not about blaming yourself harshly. It is about recognizing that you have the power to make new choices starting today. You are not stuck. You are not helpless. You are not broken beyond repair. You are simply standing at a crossroads where ownership will take you forward and blame will hold you back. When you stop blaming, you start building. When you stop making excuses, you start creating solutions. When you stop waiting for others to change, you start changing yourself. That is where your power lives, not in pointing fingers, not in dwelling on the past, not in wishing things were different. Your power lives in accepting reality as it is and deciding to create something better from this moment forward. Yes, bad things happen. Yes, people let you down. Yes, life is unfair sometimes. But you cannot afford to camp out in victimhood if you want to build a powerful future. Victimhood keeps you small. It keeps you weak. It keeps you looking backward instead of moving forward. You cannot change what happened to you, but you can absolutely change what you do about it. The moment you take full ownership of your life, everything shifts. You stop waiting for apologies. You stop needing closure. You stop letting your past dictate your future. You realize that the best revenge against anything that tried to break you is to build an unstoppable version of yourself. Ownership means you stop blaming your parents for how you were raised. You stop blaming your ex for breaking your heart. You stop blaming your boss for not recognizing your talent. You stop blaming the economy, the system, your circumstances, your luck. You take responsibility for where you are and where you are going. Does that mean nothing was ever anyone else's fault? No, it means you refuse to let their faults keep you from your future. It means you are bigger than your excuses. It means you are stronger than your circumstances. It means you are determined to rise no matter what weight you have been carrying. When you own your life, you own your mistakes too. You stop defending them. You stop justifying them. You acknowledge them, learn from them, and use them as fuel to do better. Mistakes are not the problem. Refusing to learn from them is the problem. Repeating them is the problem. Denying them is the problem. Ownership gives you freedom. It gives you the freedom to change. It gives you the freedom to grow. It gives you the freedom to walk away from anything that no longer serves you without needing permission or validation. You stop living your life trying to prove something to people who hurt you. You start living your life to honor the potential inside you. You stop seeking revenge and start seeking excellence. You stop trying to make others feel guilty and start making yourself feel proud. You stop replaying old wounds and start writing new victories. Ownership is not just about taking responsibility for the bad. It is about taking credit for the good, too. It is about recognizing that every success you have earned, you earned. It was not luck. It was not handed to you. It was the result of your effort, your resilience, your refusal to quit. When you own your wins, you build confidence. When you own your losses, you build wisdom. When you own everything in between, you build a life that is truly yours. Nobody can take that from you. Nobody can diminish it. Nobody can rewrite your story because you are the author. Stop giving other people starring roles in your narrative. Stop letting them take up space in your mind rent-free. Stop letting their opinions shape your decisions. Stop letting their limitations become your ceiling. You are the main character in your life. Act like it. The people who blame never grow. They stay bitter. They stay angry. They stay stuck. They build walls instead of bridges. They collect grievances instead of victories. They live in the past because they are too afraid to step into the future. Do not be one of them. Be the one who breaks the cycle. Be the one who refuses to pass pain forward. Be the one who transforms hardship into strength. When you take full ownership of your life, you take back your power. You take back your peace. You take back your future. You stop being a passenger and become the driver. You stop being a victim and become a victor. You stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and start asking, "What am I going to do about it?" That question changes everything. It shifts you from powerless to powerful. It moves you from reactive to proactive. It transforms you from someone life happens to into someone who makes life happen. And that is the kind of person who wins. That is the kind of person who builds empires. That is the kind of person who inspires others just by existing. Own your life without blaming anyone for anything. Not because they do not deserve blame, but because you deserve freedom. You deserve peace. You deserve to live without the chains of resentment holding you back. Take responsibility for your healing. Take responsibility for your growth. Take responsibility for your happiness. Take responsibility for your future. Nobody else can do it for you. And once you fully accept that, once you fully own that, you will realize you have been powerful all alone. You just needed to stop giving that power away. You must get comfortable being uncomfortable. Growth does not happen in the safe zone. It does not happen when everything is easy. It does not happen when you are coasting. Growth happens when you are stretched, challenged, tested. It happens when you step outside of what you know and into what scares you. Most people spend their entire lives avoiding discomfort. They stay in jobs they hate because it is familiar. They stay in relationships that drain them because it is easier than being alone. They avoid hard conversations, difficult decisions, and challenging situations because they do not want to feel the temporary pain of change. But here is the truth. Avoiding discomfort today guarantees discomfort tomorrow. When you refuse to face what is hard now, you create a harder life later. When you avoid growth, you accept stagnation. When you run from challenges, you run from your potential. Comfort is a trap. It lulls you into believing that safety equals success. But safety and success rarely coexist. Success requires risk. It requires vulnerability. It requires stepping into the unknown and trusting that you will figure it out along the way. Every great achievement in history was born from someone willing to be uncomfortable. Every innovation, every breakthrough, every transformation came from someone who chose courage over comfort. Think about the moments in your life when you grew the most. Were they easy moments? Were they comfortable moments? Or were they the moments when you were terrified, uncertain, overwhelmed? The moments when you did not know if you could handle it, but you did it anyway? That is where growth lives. In the discomfort, in the fear, and the challenge. When you train yourself to embrace discomfort, you unlock a superpower. You become someone who is not easily shaken. You become someone who can handle pressure. You become someone who thrives in uncertainty. You become the kind of person who does not run when things get hard. You become the kind of person who runs toward the hard things because you know that is where the reward is. Being uncomfortable means having difficult conversations instead of avoiding them. It means doing the workout when your body wants to quit. It means waking up early when your bed feels too good. It means investing in yourself when your bank account feels too small. It means apologizing when your pride wants to protect you. It means setting boundaries when people-pleasing feels safer. It means choosing the harder right over the easier wrong again and again and again. Every time you choose discomfort, you build resilience. Every time you face fear, you build courage. Every time you push through resistance, you build strength. These qualities do not develop in comfort. They develop in the fire. The people who achieve extraordinary things are not more talented than you. They are not smarter than you. They are simply more willing to be uncomfortable than you. They are willing to do what feels hard today to create what feels amazing tomorrow. They understand that temporary discomfort leads to permanent transformation. You must train your mind to see discomfort as a signal of growth, not a signal to retreat. When you feel uncomfortable, do not panic, do not quit. Recognize it for what it is, proof that you are expanding, proof that you are evolving, proof that you are becoming more than you were yesterday. Comfort keeps you small. Comfort keeps you stuck. Comfort keeps you safe, but it also keeps you from your dreams. If you want a life that is bigger, bolder, and more fulfilling than the one you have now, you must be willing to feel uncomfortable regularly. You must make discomfort your new normal. That does not mean you seek out suffering for no reason. It means you stop avoiding necessary challenges. It means you stop letting fear dictate your decisions. It means you start moving toward what scares you instead of away from it. Because on the other side of that fear is the life you have been dreaming about. Your comfort zone is not your friend. It is your enemy. It is the invisible prison that keeps you from living at your highest potential. It whispers lies like, "You are not ready. You are not good enough. What if you fail?" But here's the truth. You will never feel fully ready. You will never feel fully confident. You will never have all the answers before you start. You just have to start anyway. You have to take the first step, even when you cannot see the full staircase. You have to trust that the path will reveal itself as you walk it. You have to believe that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way, because you are. Every time you choose discomfort over comfort, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than you thought. You prove that fear does not control you. You prove that you are not a prisoner to your emotions. You prove that you are the kind of person who does hard things, and the more you prove it, the more you believe it. And the more you believe it, the more you become it. Becoming comfortable being uncomfortable is a skill. It is not something you are born with. It is something you develop through practice, through repetition, through consistency. The more you do hard things, the easier they become. Not because they stop being hard, but because you become someone who can handle hard. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for fear to disappear. It will not. Fear will always be there, but you can move forward anyway. You can take action despite the fear. You can step into discomfort and trust that you will grow through it. Your future self will thank you. The version of you that is living the dream life. The version of you that is proud and confident and fulfilled. That version was created by the choices you make today. And every single one of those choices will require you to be uncomfortable. So embrace it. Welcome it. Lean into it. Because discomfort is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It is your trainer. It is your greatest ally in becoming the person you were meant to be. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. That is where your power lives. Discomfort is the price of admission to an extraordinary life. Every person you admire, every success story you have heard, every achievement that inspires you was built on a foundation of discomfort. The entrepreneur who risked everything to start a business. The athlete who trained when their body screamed to stop. The artist who created despite fear of judgment. The leader who made difficult decisions when easier options existed. None of them achieved greatness by staying comfortable. They achieved it by repeatedly choosing discomfort over ease. They achieved it by facing their fears instead of running from them. They achieved it by pushing through resistance when every fiber of their being wanted to quit. You have that same capability. You have that same potential. The only difference between you and the people you admire is that they learned to be comfortable being uncomfortable. They learned to reframe discomfort as feedback, not failure. They learned to see challenges as opportunities, not obstacles. They learned to embrace the struggle as part of the journey, not a reason to quit. One of the most powerful mindset shifts you can make is understanding that discomfort is temporary, but regret is permanent. The discomfort of having a difficult conversation lasts minutes or hours. The regret of avoiding lasts years. The discomfort of pushing yourself in a workout lasts an hour. The regret of neglecting your health lasts a lifetime. The discomfort of taking a risk lasts until you see the result. The regret of playing it safe lasts forever. When you frame it this way, the choice becomes clear. Temporary discomfort is always better than permanent regret. Short-term pain is always better than long-term disappointment. Another important truth about discomfort is that your tolerance for it grows with practice. The first time you do something scary, it feels overwhelming. The second time, it feels slightly less intense. The 10th time, it feels manageable. The 100th time, it feels normal. This is how you expand your comfort zone, not by avoiding discomfort, but by consistently exposing yourself to it. Think of it like building muscle. The first time you lift weights, they feel heavy. Your muscles burn. You feel weak. But if you keep showing up, keep lifting, keep pushing, eventually those same weights feel light. Your body adapts. Your strength grows. Your capacity expands. The same principle applies to mental and emotional discomfort. The first time you face rejection, it stings deeply. But if you keep putting yourself out there, keep taking risks, keep getting rejected, eventually it loses its power over you. You realize rejection is just feedback. It is just data. It is just part of the process. It no longer devastates you because you have built a tolerance for it. This is why successful people can handle what would crush average people. They have trained their discomfort tolerance. They have repeatedly exposed themselves to difficult situations until those situations no longer feel unbearable. They have expanded their capacity to handle stress, pressure, uncertainty, and fear. You can do the same. Start small. Choose one area of your life where you have been avoiding discomfort and commit to facing it. Maybe it is having an honest conversation with someone. Maybe it is starting that project you have been putting off. Maybe it is going to the gym even though you are intimidated. Maybe it is applying for that job even though you do not meet all the qualifications. Whatever it is, do it. Feel the discomfort. Sit with it. Do not run from it. Notice that you survive. Notice that it was not as bad as you imagined. Notice that you feel stronger afterward. Then do it again, and again, and again. Build your tolerance. Expand your capacity. Prove to yourself that you can handle hard things. As you practice this, you will notice something remarkable. The things that used to terrify you start to feel manageable. The challenges that used to overwhelm, you start to feel like opportunities. The discomfort that used to stop you starts to fuel you. You transform from someone who avoids hard things into someone who seeks them out. This transformation does not happen overnight. It takes time. It takes consistency. It takes commitment. But it is absolutely possible for anyone willing to do the work. The question is, are you willing? Are you willing to be uncomfortable in pursuit of your dreams? Are you willing to face your fears for a chance at greatness? Are you willing to endure temporary pain for permanent gain? If the answer is yes, then start today. Stop avoiding what is hard. Stop running from what is scary. Stop letting discomfort dictate your decisions. Start moving toward discomfort intentionally. Start choosing courage over comfort. Start becoming the person who does hard things. Because here is the ultimate truth. The life you want is on the other side of discomfort. The dreams you have require you to grow beyond who you currently are. And growth only happens outside your comfort zone. So if you want different results, you must be willing to do what feels different. You must be willing to be uncomfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Make it your mantra. Make it your mission. Make it your way of life. Because when you master this skill, when you truly embrace discomfort as a tool for growth, you become unstoppable. Nothing can hold you back. No fear can stop you. No challenge can defeat you. You become the person who always finds a way. The person who never quits. The person who achieves the impossible. That person is waiting for you on the other side of discomfort. Go find them. This is not the end of your journey. This is the beginning. Everything you have read up to this point has prepared you for this moment, the moment of decision, the moment of commitment, the moment when you must choose what kind of life you are going to live. You can close this book and go back to the way things were. You can return to old habits, old patterns, old ways of thinking. You can let the inspiration fade and the motivation disappear. You can let the comfort of familiarity pull you back into mediocrity. That is one choice. It is the easy choice. It is the choice most people make. Or you can decide that today is the day everything changes. You can decide that you are done settling. You can decide that you are ready to focus on yourself until you win. You can decide that you are going to become the strongest version of yourself, no matter what it takes. That is the other choice. It is the harder choice, but it is the choice that leads to the life you truly want. The choice is yours. It has always been yours. Nobody can make it for you. Nobody can force you to change. Nobody can push you to grow. You must want it for yourself. You must choose it for yourself. You must commit to it for yourself. Everything you need is already inside you. The strength, the courage, the discipline, the determination. It is all there, waiting to be activated. Waiting for you to stop making excuses and start taking action. Waiting for you to stop looking for shortcuts and start putting in the work. Waiting for you to stop doubting yourself and start believing in your potential. Your life will change when you change. Your circumstances will improve when you improve. Your future will be different when you become different. It all starts with you. It all comes back to you. You are the key. You are the solution. You are the answer to every question you have been asking. So what are you going to do? Are you going to keep waiting for the perfect moment? Or are you going to realize that this is the perfect moment? Are you going to keep making excuses?